Oh well, this is a little more personal than my other videos have been. Um, saw a news article today. Israeli medical teams are responding to measles epidemic in Samoa, and I actually had things gone a little different during my military service. I might actually be there. Um, I was in Pikuta Orif, which is Home Front Command, and all the search and rescue and emergency medical response teams are part of Pikuta Orif. So Homefront Command is in charge of international aid missions. Little ironic, I think. But anyway, I wanted to be in the search and rescue teams, but I wound up being part of I'm not allowed to say that. I never mind. Forget I said that. Anyway, um, my base commander was part of the first team that was sent to Haiti after the earthquake. Not just the first Israeli team, the first team, period. Even though Israel is on the other side of the planet, Israeli first responders were the first international people to get there. Although they were in fact beat out, they were the first team, the first official response to the earthquake. They were actually beat out by a tourist who was in the Dominican Republic, and after the earthquake, he snuck across the border before it was closed to help. Although incidentally, he was also Israeli. um, and my base commander um, gave a lecture one day about about his experience, about what they did there. Um, Actually, a lot of it was really funny. You know, the IDF is really not so efficient as some people like to think it is, and getting things done sometimes takes a little more effort than maybe they should. But one thing that strikes me looking back at it now is that didn't talk about people they helped. He didn't talk about the people they saved. He talked about the people that they failed to help. He talked about the people they couldn't save. He talked about the people who died. He talked about the people who the only things they could do is dig out the bodies. That was looking back at it. I think that says a lot about him. That that as much as they did, all he could think about was that they couldn't do more. Um, One thing he talked about, which really struck in my mind, because I actually saw the story on the news as it was actually happening. I saw the story on the news, and he told us about that too. Um, there was a woman. There was um, a particular building. I believe it was a hotel, and he showed us pictures of it. A really giant, multi-story building built of concrete, and every story, every floor collapsed down on top of all the other floors, and 5,000 people died. Um, but a woman got a text from her husband saying that he was trapped, but he was still alive. Like the concrete blocks had fallen around him, so he wasn't crushed, but he was trapped. He couldn't get out, and so they went there and they dug and they scraped and they tore the place apart, and they found a guy who said that he was the guy. He had sent a text to his wife that he was still alive, and so they brought him out, and they brought him to the woman who sent them there, and she said, "That's not my husband." So they went back, but they couldn't find the man who was really her husband. And the man they saved, they couldn't find his wife either. So, so I want to talk a little bit about all that Israel does in the world, because there's so many people who have no idea how much Israel does to help people in Samoa now, in Haiti, in Southeast Asia after the tsunami, and we don't just we help people as a group, as a nation. We help people, even people who really don't like us. I've heard, I can't swear to the truth of this, but I have no reason to doubt it, that after the tsunami, Israeli aid mission workers in Muslim countries over there, like Bangladesh, had to cover up or leave behind every Star of David they otherwise would have been wearing or brought with them, because otherwise there might have been trouble. But they went, and they gave all the help they could. Damn. First time I actually thought about that, about my base commander and his mission to Haiti in a long while now. Terrible thing to happen. All I can say is thank God for all the people they could save. And if there's any takeaway, any good takeaway from this, I think that it's that we should all, as much as possible, try to be like that tourist whose name I can't for the life of me remember. When we see people who are in trouble, we should always do what we can to help them, even if they don't like us, even if we don't like them, because we're all human beings and we all need help, and we all need to help when we can. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you all are able to help and you were able to get the help that you need. Have a good night.